Many women, when they experience pain during intimacy with their partner, don't talk about it easily. Maybe there's a sense of shame. Maybe there's discomfort. Some even tell themselves, maybe this is just what happens when you get older. But here's the truth. Ignoring painful sex can have serious consequences, not only for your body, but for your emotional health and even your relationship. Before we dive in, I want to share something exciting with you. I'm currently writing a special guide for women over 60 about intimate health after menopause. 1 week after this video is posted, that guide will be available in my YouTube store. If you'd love to get a discount code when it launches, just let me know in the comments by writing the words discount code, and I'll make sure you get early access. In today's episode, I want to gently guide you through how to finally put an end to painful sex during menopause and how to feel more comfortable and confident again. My name is Dr. Leah Parker, and for over 30 years I've been working with women just like you, helping them find comfort, confidence, and joy in their intimate health again. And I want to ask you to stay with me all the way through this conversation. Because as we go step by step, you'll begin to see why so many women continue to struggle for years without relief, and more importantly, how you can avoid those mistakes. And right at the end, I'll share something that has reignited not just comfort, but true passion for women who thought that part of their life was over. You don't want to miss that. What I've seen again and again is that women often wait years before saying anything. They avoid certain moments with their partner, they dread being touched, and slowly intimacy starts to disappear. And yet many of these same women tell me in a whisper, I thought I was the only one. That loneliness makes the problem feel even heavier. But the reality is you are not alone. Now you are far from alone in this. In fact, 1 in 3 women over 60 experiences pain during sex, yet almost no one speaks about it. Not to their doctor, not to their best friend, sometimes not even to their partner. And when silence surrounds this subject, women begin to feel isolated. They start to believe that pain is normal, or that there are no answers. But I want you to know, painful sex is not normal. It has real causes, and it has real solutions. The good news is that once we understand what's happening in the body, the path forward becomes so much clearer. We can treat dryness. We can relax tense muscles. We can restore comfort. And yes, we can even bring back desire. So stay with me until the end of this video, because the very last thing I'll share is not just another tip, it's the secret that has helped women in their 60s and 70s not only stop the pain, but also feel a spark of passion they thought was gone forever. Before we get there, let's first understand why menopause changes so much in the body, and why so many women begin to notice these challenges during this stage of life. When you reach menopause, your ovaries make far less of a hormone called estrogen. Think of estrogen as the quiet helper that keeps the skin inside your vagina soft, springy, and naturally moist. It also brings healthy blood flow to the area. When estrogen goes down, that soft lining becomes thinner and drier. With less cushioning, it can feel sore or burn. The skin can even get tiny cracks, a bit like chapped lips in winter, which is why some women see small spots of blood after sex. These changes do not only affect the vagina, they can also affect the bladder and the short tube that carries urine out of the body. Here is why. Before menopause, the vagina has a gentle acidity that protects you from troublesome germs. Estrogen helps keep this natural acidity in balance. After menopause, with less estrogen, that protective acid level fades. When that shield is weaker, it is easier for germs to cause trouble. That is why some women notice more burning when they pee, a need to run to the bathroom more often, or more bladder infections than before. Dryness is the part most women notice first. Dry skin rubs. Rubbing causes friction. Friction causes pain. If you try to have intercourse with dry, fragile tissue, it can feel sharp, stingy, or like sandpaper. That pain then makes your body tense up, which we will talk about in the next part. There are also other things that can make dryness and irritation worse. Some everyday medicines dry out the whole body, not just the nose and mouth. Allergy pills can do this. Some mood medicines can do this. Some bladder control medicines can do this. If you have diabetes, the tiny blood vessels that feed the skin can be less healthy, so the area gets less nourishment and feels more delicate. If you have had chemotherapy or radiation, those treatments can also thin and irritate the tissues. Smoking closes small blood vessels and starves the skin of oxygen and nutrients, so healing is slower and comfort is harder to keep. I want you to hear the hopeful part very clearly. Every change I just described has a reason behind it. When you know the reason, you can choose a direct fix. If the skin is dry, we can add moisture. If the skin is fragile, we can help it repair. If germs are causing irritation, we can restore the natural balance and calm things down. Pain after menopause is common, but it is not a new normal you must accept. Stay with me for another minute, because this next piece explains why pain sometimes continues even after you start adding moisture. When the body expects pain, the muscles around the vagina can tighten on their own to protect you, just like your shoulder flinches if someone keeps poking it. That protective squeeze can turn a little discomfort into a lot of pain. In the next part, I'll show you how to gently teach those muscles to relax again so your body stops bracing and starts trusting. Imagine for a moment that you touch a hot stove. Your hand pulls back before you even think about it. That is your body's natural reflex to protect you from pain. Something very similar can happen with the muscles around your vagina. When your body expects pain during intimacy, those muscles can tighten all by themselves. You are not doing it on purpose. It is your body's way of saying, "Wait, I must protect you." Doctors use the word vaginismus for this. It simply means that the muscles around the opening of the vagina squeeze tight when something tries to enter. Many women describe it as feeling like there is a wall in the way. Others say it feels like a burning or tearing sensation the moment penetration is attempted. Some women can even feel sore when trying to use a tampon or during a routine medical exam. There is also another pattern called pelvic floor tension. The pelvic floor is the hammock of muscles that support your bladder, your uterus, and your bowel. When these muscles stay clenched instead of relaxed, sex can feel painful or even impossible. This can be triggered by many things: stress, past trauma, childbirth, surgery, or simply years of holding your body in a tight way without realizing it. Sitting for long hours can also make these muscles stiff. Once this protective clenching starts, it can easily become a cycle. Pain leads to more fear, fear leads to more tension, tension causes more pain, and round it goes. Some women even begin to avoid any form of intimacy because their body has learned to associate closeness with discomfort. But here is the hopeful part. Just as your body can learn to tighten, it can also learn to let go. One of the most effective approaches is pelvic floor physical therapy. This is a gentle form of therapy where a trained specialist teaches you how to notice the tension, how to release it, and how to rebuild comfort step by step. Sometimes this involves breathing exercises, stretching, or using small medical tools called dilators that help the muscles get used to relaxing again. Counseling can also be very helpful, especially if the tightness is linked to fear or past experiences. When the mind feels safe, the body is more likely to relax. Some women benefit from combining both approaches, the physical retraining of the muscles and the emotional support to rebuild trust in their body. Stay with me for the next part, because I want to share something that most women never hear from their doctors. It is not a prescription, it is not a cream, it is the natural way your own body can protect itself from pain. I am talking about the healing power of arousal and foreplay, and why it matters more than ever after menopause. When we think about painful sex, many women go straight to creams, hormones, or medical treatments. Those can be very helpful, but there is something just as powerful that often gets ignored: the way the body prepares for intimacy. This is called arousal. And the truth is, after menopause, arousal and foreplay become more important than ever. Here is why. When a woman becomes aroused, her body sends more blood into the vagina and clitoris. That blood flow makes the tissue plumper, softer, and more elastic. At the same time, natural lubrication is released. That extra moisture works like oil in a machine. It reduces friction and prevents painful rubbing. If the body is rushed and does not have time to warm up, the skin stays dry and fragile. Trying to have sex without arousal is a little like trying to bend a dry twig. It can snap, tear, or hurt. But with enough time and patience, the twig becomes flexible again. Foreplay is the way to build this arousal. And by foreplay, I do not only mean kissing. It can be touching, caressing, massaging, using the hands, or enjoying oral stimulation. For some couples, foreplay may include using gentle oils or a vibrator. The key is time and relaxation. Many women after menopause need more time than they did when they were younger. That is normal. In fact, it is healthy. Some women tell me they feel guilty asking their partner for more foreplay. Others feel embarrassed or think it is selfish, but I want you to think about foreplay in a new way. It is not just about pleasure. It is a medical step that protects your vaginal tissue, prevents pain, and allows your muscles to trust and relax. In this stage of life, foreplay is not an extra. It is the foundation of comfortable intimacy. Here is another important truth. Foreplay is not only for the body, it is also for the mind. When you feel desired, when you laugh, when you take time to connect, your body produces natural chemicals that calm the nervous system. This reduces fear, helps you open up, and brings back the emotional spark. So do not underestimate this missing piece. Give yourself permission to slow down. Give your partner permission to take their time. You will be surprised at how much pain can be prevented simply by allowing your body to warm up the way it was designed to. Now, even with good foreplay, the tissues may still need direct support. In the next part, I will explain the difference between moisturizers and lubricants, the natural options that many women like, and the medical treatments that can rebuild comfort from the inside out. By now, you can see that painful sex after menopause is not caused by just one thing. The body changes on many levels, but let's take a very practical look at the tools you can use right away to bring comfort back. Moisturizers, lubricants, and in some cases medical treatments like local estrogen. First, let's clear up the most common confusion. A vaginal moisturizer is not the same as a lubricant. A moisturizer is something you use regularly, just like you might use a face cream or a hand cream. It is applied inside the vagina several times a week, and it slowly improves the health of the tissue. It keeps the skin more elastic, helps it hold on to water, and makes it less likely to tear. Think of it as long-term care, not just a quick fix. And if you are wondering what to try, I have placed a link in the description to the vaginal moisturizer that I use myself and really like. You may find it just as comforting. A lubricant, on the other hand, is used only at the time of intimacy. It reduces friction right away, making movements more comfortable. Lubricants come in different types. Water-based ones are easy to wash off, but they may dry up quickly. Silicone-based ones last longer and feel more slippery, which many women prefer. Some women also like natural oils, such as coconut oil, olive oil, or apricot kernel oil. These can work very well, but it is always best to check with your doctor first, especially if you are prone to infections. And if you would like me to make a whole video just on lubricants comparing them, showing you which ones last the longest and which ones feel the most natural, please write the word lubricant in the comments. That will let me know this is something you want more detail on. Now let's talk about local estrogen. This is one of the most effective ways to rebuild vaginal comfort after menopause. Local estrogen means that the hormone is placed directly into the vagina in a very low dose. It can come as a cream, a small tablet, or a soft ring that sits inside and releases the hormone slowly. Because the dose is so low and it acts right where it is needed, it does not carry the same risks that are sometimes linked with hormone pills taken by mouth. In fact, studies show that local estrogen can safely restore thickness, blood flow, and moisture to the vaginal walls for many women. There are also newer options being explored, such as gentle laser treatments that encourage fresh tissue growth, or pills that act like estrogen in the vagina, but not in the rest of the body. These may not be for everyone, but it is encouraging to know that choices are expanding. So remember this: moisturizers keep the tissue healthy, lubricants make intimacy easier in the moment, and local estrogen can actually repair the fragile skin over time. Used together, these approaches can make a world of difference, but there is still one last vital piece of the puzzle. Because intimacy is not only about the body, it is also about confidence, closeness, and desire. And in the final part, I am going to share the secret that has helped women not only overcome pain, but also rediscover passion they thought was gone for good. We have talked about the body, the dryness, the thinning tissue, the tight muscles, but intimacy is never only about the body. It is also about how you feel inside. For many women, the hardest part of painful sex is not just the discomfort. It is the way it changes confidence, closeness, and even how you see yourself. And that is why I'm writing a brand new guide, especially for women over 60. It's focused on intimate health after menopause, with both practical solutions and emotional support. This guide will be available in my YouTube store 1 week after this video goes live. If you would like to receive a discount code when it launches, simply write discount code in the comments and I will make sure you get early access. Before I share the final secret, I want to remind you that there is nothing shameful about wanting intimacy at this stage of life. In fact, the desire to feel close, cared for, and connected is a sign of health and vitality. Many women tell me they felt too old to ask for comfort or pleasure, but age does not take away your right to a loving and fulfilling intimate life. You are worthy of that, right now, just as you are. Here is the final secret. The women who do the best are the ones who combine the physical fixes with the emotional ones. They use moisturizers, lubricants, or local estrogen to restore comfort. But they also give themselves permission to slow down, to ask for what they need, and to reconnect with their partner outside the bedroom. When body and heart work together, intimacy is not only possible again, it can feel new and exciting, even after many years. And here's the message I want you to carry with you. Menopause is not the end of intimacy. It can be the beginning of a new chapter, one where you get to set the pace, define what feels good, and rediscover passion on your own terms. Now, before you go, don't stop here. There is more you need to know to feel completely comfortable again. Watch the next video I've linked on your screen. It will give you the next steps every woman should understand.